darling. It's Jennifer from the patio. Happy Monday to you. So, I know you're probably thinking that we're going to have grungy winter this week, but I told you in the last video that I was going to wait until December 1st because this Thursday is Thanksgiving. And so I'm going to skip this week and just have our regular scheduled program for Monday and Thursday. And then next week, starting on Monday at noon, I'm going to do the grungy winter. Okay? So I had someone in the comments say that they would love to see me put the journal together. And so that's what we're going to do today. So I have all the pieces that we made last week. We made this with the little wool flip out. And then we made this one, which is another around the page. So we made that. And I'm putting them in order because I have them laid out the way I'm going to put them in. Okay, well then we have these. So we did 4 of those. And then we made this. And look, I noticed it's crooked. But that's okay. So we have a little piece of Velcro. It opens like this. We have 2 tags. A little belly band with a little small tag. And then we have this cute little pocket with just a little tag in there. I just love that. Okay, so that's a gatefold. And then we have our waterfall, and each one of them has a card in it. Now yours is probably going to have a backing, but because I printed these so many times, you know, to check the colors and make sure everything was fine, that on this last one I did not print anything on the back, but that's okay. Mine's going in just the way it is. And then we have another one of these at the jingle. I think this is my favorite page. I do like this one too. And I love that green. And then each of these, I don't know if I showed you, has a little journaling card that comes out on the side. Okay, how was that? That was like that. And then there's this one. And then there's this one. So I'm keeping them in order because this is how they're going into the journal. So I have to keep it all. So anyway, what I did, I just went and printed. You have tons of background pages that you can use for journaling pages. And so I just picked some that I liked and printed them. I think there's 7 sheets in here. And then I just printed some lined paper, and I went back and made, you know, I had the green, but I really liked the blue, and I think I did a yellow one, and then I also did like a pinky whatever that would match this. And this one I printed upside down on the Frosty. I actually printed, and so the way I'm going to fix it is the Frosty's going to be facing up, and these I'm going to be covering that so you're not going to see it anyway. So you won't even know that the bliss is upside down. Okay, so anyway, that is what I'm going to do, but here's what I thought I would make is, I thought I would make a 1-inch spine folio with a journal insert. So this is what I was thinking I want to make. It goes like this, and if you've seen my videos from the very beginning, I've made this before. And so it has like a little pocket. But because it's Christmas, it would be nice to have just some places that this provides to put pictures in. So I'm going to do that. And then there's one in the back that goes like this as well. So then I can put pictures of our family this Christmas and then just do a little bit of journaling and stuff in there. So I only put 7 pages. I don't really need 7. There's one sheet that I didn't put anything on in here. So it may end up being 6. But it's 1 inch, and so it'll fit just a nice little journal right in the middle. And this one is, you know, it has a lot of stuff in it. So, and it's a lot of pages. I don't know how many, but it's way more than 7. I want to say it's 12. But anyway, so that, and it has magnets. And so that's what I'm going to make today. So I'm going to put this aside, and then I'm going to show you what you need. Now, like I said, have done this before. So what you're going to need to make this is 4 pieces of 110 cardstock just to make the base. And then I can show you some variations in order to do like a horizontal waterfall where it goes right, left, or you can do where you can put a waterfall and you can have like 3x5, so you could put 3x5 pictures in it. So however you want, just remember you only get an inch. So whatever you can fit in there, you know, you can make. But these are the directions. So I'm going to take my hands off, make sure it's all in screen. And if I need to, nope, it looks good. Go ahead and take a screenshot of that just so you have it. Okay. So what we need is 4 pieces of 110 cardstock. I checked my stock. All I have is 65 pound and 80. So we're going to just go with 80. That's all we can do. So we're going to do that real quick and make just the base. And it doesn't take very long. So let's get out our scoreboard. I have 4 pieces here of 80. So I'll put that aside, and then I'm going to get my score. So on the 11-inch side of your 8.5 by 11, we are going to score at 2 1/4. So 2 1/4. I'm just going to reinforce that. 8 1/4. Whoops, 8 1/4. And just reinforce that. And then 9 1/4. And that's what's going to give us our 1-inch spine. So 9 1/4. 9 1/4. And we need 2 pieces of that are scored this way. So let me do one more. On the 11-inch side, I'll put that up. And I apologize for the glare, but excuse me. It is a cloudy day today, and it just is what it is. So 2 1/4. So we got 2 1/4. Reinforce. 8 1/4. Reinforce, and then 9 1/4. And then reinforce that line. Okay, so those are the 2 for the base. And then now we need the little flippy pages. They're going to go in. So we need 2 pieces. And all we're going to do is score these at 5 1/2. We're just going to score them in half. So 5 1/2. So you need 2 pages of that. 5 1/2. Pretty simple. Okay, so now let's assemble. Okay, so first of all, we're going to get these little babies out, and we are going to just fold on the hills, not the valleys, but see how it's raised? We're going to fold into that. So you're going to fold all of those. Let me get my score, and we're just going to just press from the middle out, middle out. Same on this side. Let me make sure that that is. It looks like it's off just a hair. So I'm going to take that from the middle. In the middle. Okay, so there's one. And then we have our other one. So we are going to fold in. Burnish. Now 110 is going to give you a little bit more stability, but I'm okay with the 80. Let me get this. But if you have 110, I just didn't have any in my stock, and I don't know why. I had several 65 pounds, and then I had an 80. And I remember going to Hobby Lobby, and that's all they had was the 80. They didn't have the 110, and I was just very disappointed because it was, of course, the day that they had it on sale. They have them 40% off every other 2 weeks. Okay, so then those, I just folded those in half, and so I'll put these 2 aside, and so we're going to work with the base of our journal. And so what we want to do is we want to lay them side by side, but we want the flaps, these things, to be to the right. So both of the flaps need to be to the right. And so what we're going to do is we're going to glue the right flap to the score line on the second, on this other page right here. And so we're going to take this, actually, I think it's like this. Wait, this is our little booklet, and then this goes like this. So we're going to take this, and we are going to glue it to this. And we don't want to go over this score line. I said the flaps, and I think I really meant this, because this is going to be the right-hand side, and then this will fold in like this. So with the bigger 2-inch flap on the right-hand side, we're going to take this, make sure it's folded in, and we're going to glue it to this piece right here on this left-hand side. And so that's all you have to do is just put your glue on this part right here. Let me pull it down so you can see. And you want to be a little bit generous because this is, you know, what's going to hold it. And so you just want to kind of make sure, trying to get it as close to the edge. Okay, and then all we're going to do is just take this and line it up on, and don't go over. You want to get it as close to the edge as you can. Make sure you can still fold it in, and then just make sure that they're all in alignment, which it looks like they are. Okay, and then we're just going to press that down. So that makes our booklet. So this will fold in like this, and then it'll be just like this. But we're not done. So we've made that portion. And so what we want to do is we want to glue these extra 8.5 that we folded in half. We want to glue these in to this flap, which is, if you notice, this is the spine. So everything we put on this side will go, you know, on this side of the folio. So because we'll have the folio inserted here. Or we'll put the junk journal. Let me put it like this. So the junk journal will go here. And so whatever's on this side will be, you know, on the bottom side of the journal. And everything on this side will be on the top. So we're going to have one flap that goes like this. And you can do them however you want. I mean, there's so many different ways to do this. But if you want this to be a pocket so that you can insert some stuff and, you know, have a place where you can put some pictures, you can do that. And then what'll happen, that you'll have this for pictures, you'll flip it open, you'll have this, and you'll have this. And then you'll just have this one pocket. The only thing is that if it's not as sturdy. So if you wanted to, you could put it on top and then glue the whole thing down so that when you open it up, it's just one page. So it's however you want to do it. And I don't want to confuse you, but you just have this open piece of 8.5 by 11, and you do it however you want. If you want extra pocket, you could just glue the top and then the bottom and the side and leave this open, and then you're done. That's all you would do, and just it would be reinforced like that. Now the other thing you can do is just put glue all over it and then glue the whole thing down. And honestly, that's what I'm going to do on this particular one. So I am going to just glue the whole thing down. You know, sometimes whenever we're making projects, we tend to, you know, say what you can and what you can't do in a project. And it's nice to know those things, like, oh, okay, I could do this or I could do this. But sometimes I think it gets a little confusing. Like, okay, well, let's just do what we're going to do, right? So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to glue this whole thing down, give it some stability, have it strong. And then that's what we're going to do. Okay, so I'm just going to butt this up just like this against that and make sure it's straight on the bottom. Because sometimes it'll stick out and it's like, ah. And then I'm just going to put that down. And I think that's pretty good. Yeah, I do. I think it's good. Okay. So we're just going to put that down. And we're going to cover this with decorative paper too. So I'm not worried about, you know, you seeing that little line. So what we're going to have is, now we'll have this. So we'll have a place for pictures from Christmas on two sides and then on the back. And so this is going to live underneath our journal because it'll be sewn in like this. So now what we're going to do is we are going to do something with this flap. And so I think on this one, I am going to make it a pocket. That way I can stick some extra journaling cards or pictures in. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in and line it up the way I want it. And then I'm going to open it, hold it down, open this flap, and I'm just going to put glue on the top. And I'm going to run just a thin one right here at the bottom, just to give it a little bit of stability. And then I'm going to put it over here. I'm going to hold it and then put it down. So it's making a pocket, and it's going to hold that in. And I think putting it down at the bottom really helps to reinforce that as well. So when you open your folio, you're going to have this. It'll open like this. So you'll still have all three of these, and then you'll have a pocket so that you can put some stuff in, and then some here. So that is it. I mean, it's very simple to do and to make. So before we bind our journal inside of this folio, I'm going to put on my magnets, because sometimes we can forget, and I don't want to forget, right? So I'm going to use my basic gray magnets, and I honestly don't. Let me get mine. I have some smaller ones, but I believe I'm going to put my bigger ones there. And let me tell you how many centimeters this is. It is 1.5 milliliters, or whatever the it's centimeters, but so it's 1.5. So if you want to order those, they're basic gray. And honestly, the basic grays, they come in a 2-pack, and you get these, and then you get the smaller ones. And for, it's, I don't know, $17.99. They're not cheap. But what I like about them is they already have the positive and negatives on it with the adhesive. So it just works. It just works. Okay, so the first thing, it's pretty easy to do. So what we're going to do is we are going to put, I'm going to use 3 magnets. So I'm going to just take them off, get my little tool. I hope I'm not going too fast, but it's a pretty simple project. And once you make one and you have your directions, it's pretty easy to put these together. And once you do make them, you just don't want to stop. I mean, these things are just a lot of fun to make. Okay, I'm going to line this up here on the line. And I'm going to, I can kind of eyeball it. You want to give yourself a finger over here so that you can get your paper to stick down. I think that actually is pretty good. And then I'm going to put this one in the middle, and then I'll put one down on the other end. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4 minus a little bit. So I'm going to just say they don't have to match. As long as this matches the other one, you're good. Because it's going to be underneath paper. You're not going to see it anyway. But sometimes you don't want it to be too far from the edge because then you end up bending that. But it'll be reinforced with double paper. So you'll have paper on here and paper on the front side of it. Okay, so there's the last one for that. Put that down, make sure it's lined up good on the line, and I think I just said about right there. Okay, so that is it. And now before I put my paper on, I'm going to reinforce this with some glue. So now to get the other ones, it's a pretty simple process. You just take the opposite magnet. So like these, you're just going to pop one there. I'm going to pop one there. And you're going to pop one over here. Put those back in my drawer. With the little liddy things. And then you're going to take the glue off. I mean the adhesive backing off. So you'll take that off. And they're pretty sticky. Take that off. And the tricky part is making sure that it's squared and aligned. So that is the most important thing. So when you need to lift it up, don't press yet. Make sure that you have it squared. I always like to put the left-hand side on a line and then push this in. I'm looking to make sure they're both squared. They look good. And then I'm going to close it. And then they will stick. So that looks like it's sticking good. I'm just making sure. So I'm just pushing it down, and then I'm gonna, they're strong magnets, so you kind of want to make sure that you don't pull them apart. Let me just do it like this. Make sure that they're adhered. Okay. And now I can pull up. Okay, there we go. And that's it. I mean, it's just that simple. And then they just will tighten. Okay, so now we have our folio ready to go. And all we need to do, and these are really strong, so I don't want to, you know, it's really pulling. So and I'm only using 80 pounds, so I really need to make sure that I'm careful with that. Okay, so now we have our magnets in place. We're ready to put our folio in. Everything is all ready to go. So this is exactly the same height. And so what I need to do is kind of measure. So I'm going to do it from the outside, and I'm going to put it in. I'm lining it up from the front and the bottom. See how I have it in between here and here? And then I'm going to get out my ruler. And then I am going to, I want them to be even. So I think that's good. And so I need 3 holes, and so I'm just going to mark them. So I want to come up probably an inch. So I'm going to do that. And then an inch, this is 8.5, so we need it at 7.5. So I'm going to put that there. And then we're going to do 4 1/4. So it'll be 4 1/4. And that looks pretty centered. Looks good. Okay, and so I'm going to punch my holes in it. And then that way, I'll be ready to go. Let me get my little styrofoam thing. Make sure everything's out of the way. I don't want to punch anything. And then I'm just going to get my awl, and I'm going to just punch a hole right in the middle. Okay, so that is ready to go. So now what I need to do is I need to take the center of my journal. This is how I do it, okay? And then I'm going to fold it the opposite direction. And then I'm going to line it up. So I'll do it this way so you can see. I'm going to line it up from the top and the bottom, get it straight. And then push it up against there. And then I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to mark this. Okay? And then I'm going to open it up and I'm going to make sure that I can see it on the other side. Okay, let me close this. Let me put this up. So this one is going to go like that. This one is like this. And then this one is, I think that's it. Let me see. Yeah, this is it. And I'm just going to make it longer. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it back up. Put it back inside of my journal. And then I know exactly where to punch the holes because I can see those little marks and I know where I'm going to put them. So let's get the journal, the folio back out. I'm going to not punch it in there. I'm just going to punch my holes. So let's get these where they need to be. I hope this is, I'm not a measurer and all of that. I guess when you do it so long, but if you need to, if you need to hold them and do all that, you can certainly do that just to make sure that your pages are, pushed in. But I'm using premium 32 pound on this and not the 65. I just was like, you know what? I just reprinted these back pages. I was just like, I am not going to use a 65 pound because it just makes it bulky. And I don't need it to be bulky. The ephemera is more, needs to be sturdier than the actual pages. So... And then when I start doing this, it causes me to, it's just not what I do. So it causes me more issues. Okay, so then I'm just going to look where my holes are and I'm going to punch. It's pretty easy. Just make sure your pages are folded towards you when you push your awl in so that you know that it's centered. On the journal. If you fold it towards you, you're not going to have it where it comes out the back or on the top. So you're good to go there. And so now we're gonna bind it in. We're just gonna get the stuff and bind it in, and then we'll be ready to start decorating. Okay, I have to put everything up because that's just what I do. Okay, so there's that, and then I have that. And then I was thinking I would use black but then I thought, well, you know what? I want to kind of have a little bit of a contrast, but I'm going to put something on the back anyway, and I don't think you're going to see it. Somebody must be mowing. We just got a new washing machine and a new stove because our washing machine was like on the ferrets. It was, honestly, it was just, I I think I told you guys that it was literally crawling. Here's some, I have some left over on that. It would be crawling all over the garage. I don't know what the heck was wrong with that thing, but it was unbalanced, and so we just went and got a new one. We've had it for over 10 years, and I'm just like, it's just driving me crazy because it's just, I don't want to deal with it. Okay, so I'm going to do 3 3/4. 3 3/4. And let me see. If I can get it in this one, then I'm going to do it. Okay, I got it in. First try. Look, you guys. Clap, clap, clap. Clap, clap, clap. Pat your back. Look at me. Hey, sometimes it takes me a while to get those things in there. Either I'm too blind or something happens. I don't know. Okay, so here we go. So let's make sure that it's where... Make sure your magnets are on the right-hand side. You're going to put your journal in like this. Now, the other thing before we put this in, we could go ahead and put a strip here. I'm not real worried about it because this is a grungy Christmas, and black is... I'm okay with this black being just like that. So I don't have any problems with that. But if you want to go ahead and put the paper on yours, by all means do. We're starting in the middle because I want to have... Oh, no, I want to have the tie in the middle. So I'm going to go through the middle. And I'm going to put it through the folio. Pull it to about, leave yourself a little bit of room. You may not even need that. And then I'm going to go through the bottom hole of the folio first. And then I'm going to find the hole on the journal, and it is going to, it's going to act right, or I'm just not going to be happy. You better act right. Okay. I felt it, and then you're going to just pull it up. Now you can keep yours bound, you know, with your clips if you want to keep it like that. I'm not, because I'm weird and I like to do my thing. And then you're going to go into the top hole. I'm trying to teach you guys a little bit because I know some people are new here and you've never done it. So I hope I'm not confusing the heck out of you. So you put it in the top hole and then of your journal, and then you're going to go through the top of your folio. So now it is, let's make sure that it's where it needs to be. It looks good. And now we're just going to go back through the middle. So make sure that you don't go through the waxed thread. Let me get the middle. And then you just go through here. It's pretty simple, and once you do it 5 times, you're gonna be fine. Then what you want to do when you're closing this up, kind of pull them taut, and then one string goes on one side of this middle, and then the other one goes on the other side. Okay, so here we are, and look, we did good. It's all going the right direction. It's perfect. Our holes were right, and then we just want to kind of pull it, and so just make sure that it's tight. Whoops, that was not. Where's my? Yeah, there it is. And I'm pretty sure that's tight. I'm pretty sure that's good. And then we're just gonna, I do one and then the other. So I do one going backwards, and then I'll do one going forwards. You can tie it 3 times, however many times you want to tie it. And then there you have these. So if you want to put some dangles on, you can. There is your folio, your journal inside of your folio. So it's going to go like this. So there you go. So that is all made, all ready to rumble. So now that we have that, we can, and I do have some pages here that, let me get this off because these are strong. Stop it. Okay, so I think one of these, and I think it was this one. Yes, I think it is. I don't know if I want that big of a gap. I will tell you that I wasn't thinking about doing the folio quite yet. So let's just work on the journal part, and then I'll print some papers, and well, some of these might fit in here. So let's look and see. If I do have some, I'll go ahead and put them in here. I'm a border person. I love the contrast between the paper, and I like to have a border. Not necessarily this large of a border, but I've already printed these, but I was going to use these just in case I needed some extra pockets or cards in there. So I think I'm going to wait because we're not going to be done with this. I'll probably finish it up and show you that video on Thursday. While we have our Scraps and Thoughts Thursday, I'll work in this and just share with you, you know, my thoughts on Thursday. Okay, so where was my little thing? Okay, it goes in here. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Let me see how much time we got. We're already at 36, you guys. Do y'all just, I mean, I'm asking you, but you can't answer me. Do you want to just make the folio and then you come back, get your journal inserted, and then we'll finish it? Because it's 36 minutes already. I mean, I don't want to go too long. It might take me 20 minutes to put this stuff in, but that's it. Maybe we could just do that. Let me set my timer for 20 minutes, sorry. Let me add a timer. Let me do 20. Okay, it's going. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. This goes like this. So I'm going to just start putting this in. So I thought this would go here because this is going to pull out. Now I don't even need to tell you what I did, but I had already adhered these to the other when we were putting it together, and so I just cut it out, okay, so that I could show you and we could, you know, put it in here. So because it's already cut out and I have this, I'm gonna glue mine down from the side, the bottom, and the side, because I have an extra piece of paper behind here. It's not going to be like yours, so don't freak out. And then that way I can put another pocket in the top. You know why? Because I can. That's just the way it is. And I know I confuse you guys, and I'm really sorry. I mean, I hope I'm not confusing you, but that's what I did. I just was like, you know, I went ahead and just cut it out so that I could put a journal together with you guys. And, you know, I wasn't even thinking about that. But when somebody said, I would love to see you do that, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I can do that. So yours is not going to be like this, but you do however you want. You can, you know, you want to, let's see, I don't want it too tall. Let me put it down here on this line. Okay. So now you are going to, when you adhere yours to the page, you're going to do the top, the side, and the bottom, because yours needs to have the card insert from this way, okay? Mine has an extra piece of paper underneath it because I cut it out, because that's just what I did, okay? That's just what I did. Okay, so there's that. So now we have our flip open. So you can write all in here. And then we also have our journaling pocket there, our tag. Okay, so I'm going to flip this over. I do the same page. And so I know I'm going to end up confusing you guys, but it just is what it is. So this one is just going to go here. And I'm going to put it on this side of the page because it has to, you know, come out on that side. So that's what I'm going to do. And I think that I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to do it so that I can put a tall tag in from the top. If you were some of the first people that downloaded the number 3, I think this is number 3. Grungy Christmas number 3. If you were some of the first people, you may want to go back. Well, I think I'll put it out as a separate little 2-pager thing. But I went back. See, I had green, but I was like, I don't want it all green. So I went back and did yellow, blue, and like a reddy color, just to kind of match all of the colors in here. So I'll put that out. Today's Sunday, I'm filming, but tomorrow's Monday, so this is when you're going to see it. I'll have it out there Sunday. I'll do it as soon as I get through here. And then you can go grab it and have it, you know, ready for you to print. Okay, so there's that. Let's go back to the front. So it's going to be like this, and then like this. I don't think I had anything here. And I think for this one, I did jingle. But I was going to do it on the page. No, did I do it on this one? No, I think I was going to put it here. Same thing. I'm going to do the sides and the bottom. And have that done. Anyway, I don't know if I told you that my stove had gone out. The motherboard or something, they say. You know, it's always something just to get you. I mean, it has, we've had it for, we bought this new house, our new house 10 years ago. And so it was here when we came. And so, you know, it was probably time for one, and I'm actually very excited. But you could still use the stovetop, which most of the time in the summer, I don't cook in the oven because it's just too hot. I'll use my slow cooker, or we actually have one of those toaster oven things that we would make stuff in. So I wasn't worried about it, but now that it's wintertime and I want to bake and I want to make bread and, you know, make lasagna and all kinds of stuff, then I needed a new stove. So anyway, we waited for this Black Friday and we got such a great deal, and 0 interest down. So I was very excited about that. Okay, so there's that, and then we have this one, and then let me see what this is. Okay, this is this one. Yeah, this was going to go here. But that way we're covering up the upside down bliss. You can't tell. No, you can't. And then I think this was going to go in the front. Actually, I think this one was going to go back here. Yeah, that one was going to go there, and then this goes in the front. It doesn't matter either which way. And I think I'm going to just glue the whole thing down because it already has enough stuff in here. You know, it's not like I have to. And I need to line this up. I noticed that my jolly is crooked. I don't like it that way. But what can you do? I was going to rip it off, and then I was like, no, Jennifer, don't do that because then you're going to ruin the whole thing. And not that I don't have enough, some more of these already printed out, because I do. That's the thing about creating, is like you print quite a few just so you can get a good, you know, idea of what it is that you're doing. But you do not have to do, you know, glue the whole thing down. You can make it into a top pocket, which actually would be, you know, kind of cool. Just to have an extra. I'm going to stand up. And then I'm going to make sure that I have this over to the left, closer to the edge more so than in the middle. I think this gold turned out so pretty, don't you? I think it just looks really good. And then I used it for that, which you saw me when I made it, but I'm going to take these out and get my bone folder and then just press that down. Okay, let's put those back in. Put that closed. Press that down a little more. Okay, there's that one. Pretty, pretty. Now let's go back to the front. And then this is our upside down bliss. So we're going to put this like that. And I am going to do the top, the side, and the bottom, and maybe have like a little side card. Okay, how about that? I'm going to try to be a little bit more generous, but I'm not going to get it too far to the edge because I don't want it seeping out, but I want it to adhere well. I'm going to stand up again. Oh, am I way too high? Let me come down here. I have that Miley Cyrus song on my I listen to it a lot. I love to turn it up really, really loud. It's the Sail Away. Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. And you know what it is that I love the violins and all of that. But my husband goes, "You keep listening." I go, "I just like it." You know, I mean, I said, "You listen to Led Zeppelin over and over again," which is true. We both love. I love Led Zeppelin. I love all of the 70s music and 80s. Of course, that's my vibe. That's my jam because that's, you know, my age group. But anyway, so okay, if there's any glue seeping out, just get that baby with your fingernails. That's why we were given fingernails to do stuff like that. Okay, so there's that, and I love it. And I think I'll probably put, I'm going to decorate this, of course, but I think I'm going to put some just on here. I haven't figured it out yet. And then down here, I'm probably going to put a pocket or some sort. But we'll get to that whenever, you know, we keep moving on. Okay, so the next one was, let me see what I was doing. Okay, I think this one. I think this was like this. Okay, I think I was, no, because that says Frosty and Frosty. Would I have put that there? Honestly, I think I was going to do that. Just like that. And then when you flip it open, it says you kind of, was I? I don't know. And I can't put it there because there's that. Let me look in the back and see. Maybe I was going to put it on this one. No, because that's there. And then this would be like this. And then that, maybe? I don't know. I had it all set, and then I'm okay with that. What do you think? You like it? Speak to me. Speak to me. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to adhere this. So I'm going to open it up. I'm going to put glue on the top and the bottom, and then just a little bit of bead down on the next to the edge. And I'm going to have to do it from this side, so I can see. I mean, I'm just going to put just a little bit. If it's coming out, come on. And then I'll put it here and there. So let me put that down. And then I'm just going to press it against. And I'm just going to pop that in just like that. Make sure that's holding. You just don't want it to bow, so you kind of have to make sure that this wraparound is a little bit up. So you just want that to adhere, and then that way the glue is not seeping out on the other side. That's why I just put just a little bit of thin. And then there's that. Okay, that looks good. And then this is going to be our card that goes in, just like this. Okay, that looks good. And then on the other side, on the bright, I was going to put this here. Okay. And we're almost done. So I'm going to do the same. I'm going to do the sides and the bottom. And then when I come back Thursday, it is Thanksgiving, but I'm just going to go ahead and put it out, but I'm sure you guys won't watch it. If you do, it'll be the weekend, as I want you to spend time with your family. But I still have to put it out because I have a set schedule, and I don't want to mess that up with YouTube, because it does matter. They like you to be consistent, and so consistent I shall be. Whether or not you guys are there or not. But do not forget that December the 1st, which is going to be the next week, I will have my Grungy Winter. And that will be fun. Okay, let me press this down. I can see it kind of coming out. I just don't want it to glue my little card in there. Okay, so when we come back, we can make some tags. Let me see. I have 5 minutes left. So we have our last one, and it goes in the middle. And so I wanted this to hang like this right here, so that when you opened it, it would be like that. And then on this side, we're going to put our wolf. So let me get that right underneath the bright. We're going to do the same thing. I'm just going to hold it there, open it up. I'm going to put glue on the side. Whoop. And then I'm going to do it right. Let me just lean in here, right on this, because I don't want to get glue. And then I'm going to do it right up here. I'm going to hold it down, and then I'm just going to press that down. That way you can kind of, what that word is, bright. And then we're going to put our wolf in like this. Wolfie. Now, I will tell you, we may have to press this down in order to, so that it doesn't impede on that, but that's okay, because there, you can still see his beautiful face. And just so you know, we're going to have him in the grungy winter, and he's going to be in bigger. He's so pretty. I have quite a few that are just really, really pretty. Okay, I'm not going to put that in yet because I do not want it to stick. Okay, so that's it. That's what we got. We got what we got. Yes, we do. Okay, that is our journal. How pretty. Is that pretty? Pretty. We're not done though, because I'm probably going to put some pockets in, maybe a little something here and there, decorate, throw some extra stuff in, and then this we're definitely going to put some paper on. So that is, look at that, it just fit just perfect right in the middle. We're not done. We need to decorate this. We'll put some paper and all kinds of goodies on it. And so that's it. That's it for today. Thank you, all of you who, participated in last week's Grungy Christmas. I had so much fun. I really did. I appreciate you watching my videos. I appreciate you liking them and commenting, and all of the subscribers. And I think I gained almost 70 subscribers in 1 week, and that just made me really, really excited. No, actually, I think it was 60-something. But anyway, 60-something, 70, I'm just really excited about that. So I just really appreciate it. But, Don't think that your comments or whatever, those all help the algorithm and the rhythm of my channel. If you like what you see and you're having a fun time and hanging out with me, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and just leave a comment or something. And you can just leave one word that just says, you know, what you think about the channel. And I've got lots more freebies for you, lots more fun things and projects. And so anyway, we're going to have fun. 2026 is going to be a blast. I have already started getting my calendar full of all of the things that we're going to do. We're going to continue to do Scraps and Thoughts Thursday and just have fun time. So anyway, thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you on Thursday. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Turkey Day. Happy gobble, gobble, gobble to you. And if you don't celebrate that, well, you know what? You have a thankful and grateful day. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.